Hi all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mohini Yadav, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please also click on the bell icon in order to receive the regular updates. And if you like my video, then please do like, share and comment. Thank you. So today's topic is Cobb-Douglas production function, and this function represents the technological relationship between the factors of production and the output. And the basic form of Cobb-Douglas production function consisting of two inputs is this, where Q represents the quantity of output, L represents the labor, K represents the capital, A represents a positive constant, alpha and beta represents the constant having value between 0 to 1, and strict Cobb-Douglas function has beta is equals to 1 minus alpha. So strict Cobb-Douglas function always has alpha plus beta equals to 1. Okay, and this function is usually given in your question, so you don't have to calculate its own, it is already given. Okay, so when we talk about the features, so Cobb-Douglas function is a homogeneous function of degree alpha plus beta, where alpha and beta we have already discussed that they are constant, and we have already discussed about the homogeneous functions also. So homogeneous in order to check the homogeneous function, we add lambda to each of the variables of the function. So when we add lambda with labor and capital, so when we add this, then we take lambda as common, so the power will be added. So this is beta plus alpha, and we take this as common, that is al power beta k power alpha, and this is our original function. So lambda power beta plus a, so this power is the degree of homogeneous function, and if it is equals to 1, we say that the function has constant returns to scale. When the degree beta plus alpha is greater than 1, we say that it is showing an increasing returns to scale, and similarly when it is less than 1, we say that it is decreasing returns to scale. Next is the elasticity of substitution of labor is beta. So how you can prove it? You already know the formula for calculating the elasticity of substitution of labor, that is MPL, that is partial derivative of your output with respect to labor into labor divided by total output. So first we'll calculate the partial derivative. So in terms, when this is our output and we are finding the partial derivative of this output with respect to L by taking capital as constant. So in this case A is constant, so we'll take this as common. So this is the product rule. So labor beta into K alpha is constant, so 0 plus K alpha as it is into the derivative of L beta is beta L raised to power beta minus 1. So this is the power rule that we have used. So this is 0, this is plus K alpha beta L power beta minus 1. So this is our partial derivative of output with respect to labor. Now we'll just substitute this in our formula here and multiply with labor divided by output, and we already know about the output. This is AL beta K alpha. So when we substitute this, so A and A will get cancelled. Similarly, K raised to power alpha will get cancelled, and here 1 and 1 will get cancelled. So L raised to power beta will also get cancelled. So this is just beta. So in case of Cobb-Douglas production function, the elasticity of substitution of labor is beta. Similarly, the elasticity of substitution of capital is alpha. So when you repeat the process again in case of finding the partial derivative of output with respect to capital by taking labor as constant, then your value will be this. You can practice that, and in case of questions, please write to me in the comment, and then you just substitute this value to your formula and also substitute the value of total output. So when you do this, similarly as in the case of labor, the AA will get cancelled, then L raised to power beta will get cancelled, and similarly K raised to power alpha will get cancelled, and you'll get the value as alpha. So elasticity of substitution of capital is alpha in case of Cobb-Douglas production function. Now fourth important feature is the share of inputs in the total output. So the share of labor in total output is beta into Q, and when it is capital, it is alpha into Q. The proof is very simple. You just have to calculate the MPL of both the inputs, that is MP, marginal product of labor, and marginal product of capital, and then you can multiply them with their respective quantities of labor and quantities of capital, and then you can see how they are contributing. But no proof is going to come, so you just have to remember about the share of inputs in the total output. So in case of labor it is beta Q, and in case of capital it is alpha Q. Now we'll understand one question. So suppose the production function is given as this, that is 4 into L raised to power 3 by 4 and K raised to power 1 by 4, where L and K are greater than 0, and these represents as that Q as the output, L as the labor, and K as the capital. And first question is that you have to find the behavior of marginal product of each factor. So we know the formula of calculating the marginal product of labor. So this is the partial derivative of output with respect to now labor. So when we take this, so this 4 and K1 by 4 is constant. So this is the power rule. So this is L raised to power 3 by 4 is 3 by 4 into L raised to power 3 by 4 minus 1. So this is 4 and 4 will get cancelled. So this is 3 into L raised to power minus 1 by 4 into K raised to power 1 by 4. Okay. Similarly, you can calculate the marginal product of capital by taking L as constant. So now this is we keep as constant, and this is the power rule. So this is 1 by 4 into K raised to power 1 by 4 minus 1. So again 4 and 4 will get cancelled. So L raised to power 3 by 4 and K raised to power minus 3 by 4. And our question is that we have to find the behavior of marginal product of labor and capital. So in this case, when you see the value of this, it is greater than 0 because this is the positive constant. This power is minus 1 by 4. So when power is negative, still your value will come out to be positive only. The value will not come out as negative. So you have to look for the value of this constant. So if this is positive, it means it is greater than 0. So similarly here also it is greater than 0. There is no negative sign, so we assume this has to be positive. So when the marginal product of labor is greater than 0 and capital is also greater than 0, we say that it is implying an increasing nature of this input. That if we increase one additional unit of labor, then our output will also get increased by this MPL. Similarly, if MPK is positive, it implies that an additional unit of capital will increase the output level by this. Therefore, both of them are showing the increasing in nature. If either of them will be negative, so we would say about the negative that it is showing as decreasing in nature. Simple. Now we'll move to the next part. In this part, we have to find out what is the nature of returns to scale. And in order to find the nature of returns to scale, we'll check about the homogeneity condition, and we'll check about what is the degree of lambda. So now this is our original function, and now we'll add lambda to both the primary inputs, that is labor and capital, and we substitute L as lambda L and K as lambda K. Then we'll take lambda as common, and then the power will be added, that is 3 plus 4 plus 1 by 4. So when we add this becomes 1, and this is the original function of f function as L and K. Now since the power is 1, so we would say that it has a constant returns to scale. If it would have been negative minus, then we would have been saying that it is decreasing returns to scale, or it would have been positive, then we would have been saying that it is showing as positive returns to scale. Simple. Now the third part is that show that the output is not exhausted if each factor is paid a price equals to its marginal product. So it is saying that when the total reward is calculated, when factors are paid equal to marginal product, so we would say that MPL is multiplied with labor plus MPK is multiplied with capital. So MPL formula is partial derivative of output with respect to labor, and MPK is partial derivative of output with respect to capital into K. And if you look into this formula, this is the Euler's theorem. So as per Euler's theorem, it is mentioned that the partial derivatives of output with respect to labor into L plus partial derivative of output with respect to capital into K always gives the total output. This is as per the Euler's theorem. So in this case, the question is saying that you have to see whether the total output is exhausted when the factors are paid equal to marginal product, or at this instead of this question, the question could also have asked that you have to verify Euler's theorem. So in both the cases, you have to verify this equation. So let's verify this. So we have already calculated this MPL and MPK in our first part. So we just had substituted the values here. Then we have multiplied this with L and K respectively. When we have multiplied this with L, so this power will be added, that is minus 1 by 4 plus 1, and in this case the plus 1 is added in with K. Okay, now when we have added this, this becomes 3 by 4, and in this case K has become 1 by 4. Okay, and now we have taken this as common. So when we have taken this as common, so this is 3, then plus 1, and this is now 4 into L raised to power 3 by 4 into K raised to power 1 by 4, which is our original output. So this is equals to output. So now we are able to verify the Euler's theorem, as well as the total output is exhausted when each factor is paid a price equal to its marginal product. I hope this question is clear to you and you are able to understand the various aspects of Cobb-Douglas production function. I'll be making one more video on this function where I'll be discussing more questions. So till then, please like, share and comment on my videos, and also subscribe to my channel in case you haven't so. And please keep motivating me so that I can prepare more videos for you people. Thank you so much for watching.